This was a nice weekend, by the way, if you had a chance to get outside and enjoy it. This is perfect time of year, right? It's not too humid yet. Not humid at all. You're out there, nice wind, good sun. I was out playing with the dog. Meanwhile, our very own Cory Inganamort was floating on the Potomac this weekend on what's the name of the boat?
We recently got an official name, a sticker on the side. We call it the No Woke Zone. The No Woke Zone.
It's the No Woke Zone. Little play on words for no wake zones. The No Woke Zone on the side of your ship, and you took this year's maiden voyage on Saturday. What did you do to celebrate? What were you out on the Potomac witnessing?
We did. So me and 5 friends, we had this plan for a little while. Saturday was the Cherry Blossom 10-miler race in Washington, D.C., and I think it's the biggest race in Washington, D.C. There are 21,500 runners that participate in this every year.
Were there many cherry blossoms? Or are they all down?
They were down at this point.
That's kind of sad. You have your Cherry Blossom 10-miler without cherry blossoms.
I was actually thrilled that they were down because that makes my boat more viewable. The leaves were off the trees. So all these runners who were running alongside East Potomac Park, they had a clear view of my boat, which was flying a 10-foot by 6-foot Save Democracy, Vote Trump 2024 with a giant mugshot of Donald Trump. So all these runners, 21,500 of them, they turn around, make the turn at mile 8. They start running, and there I am with 5 of my friends with this massive flag. And the reactions we got were just, I thrive off of this energy. I texted you earlier in the week, Vince. I said, come on out. However, this probably isn't going to be a family-friendly type affair, and Vince has a young kid. I was like, it might not be the greatest thing because the experts have the number of middle fingers right now at about 25.
Right.
So I thought that was
the betting markets. The betting markets were at 25.
The betting markets were. I thought it was a bit conservative of a number because I would have definitely have bet the over. It turns out we were counting from the very beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4. We reached 184 middle fingers during this maiden voyage. It was
among
so
the
much
runners.
fun.
Were the runners doing it too?
They were all runners.
All of them.
All the runners were. It was so funny. One guy, we got a couple people yelling at us, "F Trump, F you guys." One woman was so passionately hating us that she was yelling at us. She tripped and fell.
I love that.
So,
she was running in your direction?
Alongside us. So we were driving along the shore. She was running alongside us. She was yelling at us, and she tripped and fell. And that just, I felt bad for a second.
You did, for a moment.
But then I mostly thought it was hilarious.
Did she comically roll or anything?
It was more of like a thump. It was like a thump, a little bounce off the ground, and boy, we had a couple of high fives and laughs afterwards.
Yeah. I hope she recovered nicely, but I do take some joy in the Three Stooges moment that you're describing.
She needs a lot of recovering, physically and mentally.
I want people to hear this because Cory has done the public a great service here. You posted some of this to X, correct? This weekend. So you can find it on Cory's X account, or you can find it on mine. I shared it there as well. But here's Cory driving the No Woke Zone with his gigantic, I'm talking huge, this is a car dealership size, Save Democracy, Vote Trump 2024 flag with a mugshot of the President of the United States on it right there. Here's Cory honking his horn at all of the delighted runners in the Cherry Blossom 10-miler.
We're up to 45 middle fingers.
Hey, 45. There you go, in honor of Trump.
Yeah.
Oh, man, these people loved you. I mean, just imagine you're out running and you're like that emotionally incontinent that you see somebody flying a Trump flag and you're like, whatever, and you're like throwing birds in the air.
It threw them off their game, although I think for a few of them, it motivated them. They got so angry that they got a little extra burst of speed.
You
so
helped them.
In reality, they should be thanking me.
You helped them.
Absolutely.
That's generous, honestly. I mean, it's inspiring. Here's more horn honking, of course, and the number keeps going up. I heard 57, 58.
It gets higher.
And this one's good. This is when you get to around, this is 91. This is where this audio checks in.
89. 90. There's 90. That's 91.
And so that woman started yelling, "Beep Trump."
Yeah, it was. You probably couldn't tell because the voices may have been similar. It was actually a man. He was so unhinged. He was yelling at us, "F Trump, F Trump," and again, I got so much joy out of it. We started the day without any music on, and I wasn't even honking my horn. I was just like waving politely, seeing what kind of reactions we got. And then then the pack started getting denser. There was more and more people. I said, we need to get a little bit more aggressive here. So that's when I started honking my horn. We put on all sorts of crazy music, a couple Let's Go Brandon songs. At one point, I actually played Donald Trump's Warsaw speech. So we blasted that so they could be reminded of presidential greatness.
And the nice thing about water is sound travels.
Yeah.
So if you've got a boat, and Corey's got a good speaker system on this thing. Already, it's loud as anything on the boat, but then it travels right across the water, and people can hear it. So they hear Trump's voice giving the Warsaw speech. Great speech. Did you play any Lee Greenwood?
We played a little Lee Greenwood. We did. Then we played RNC Research, their pinned tweet. It's 5 minutes of Joe Biden bumbling and stumbling and not making any sense. So we blasted that out. We just had a grand old time. It was me and 5 friends. I said, next time, the only thing we got to do is bring a speaker, aim it at the shore, and just start preaching facts. I think we should probably do a Vince Coglianese show from the boat next year.
I love that.
Bring all of our guests. We'll get the phone system set up. Jeff will set that up. And we should actually do that.
Jeff, I can see Jeff shuddering at the thought of that effort.
But it was a great time, and I saw my tweet blew up a little bit. If you want to check it out, like Vince said, I tweeted it. I'm at the Bird Words. I saw Overheard in Washington D.C. Wrote about it on their Instagram.
Oh, they did. I was wondering because I was looking this up this week, and I figured if there's a boat on the Potomac with a gigantic Trump flag.
It got noticed. It definitely got noticed.
But I didn't see much on X. I was looking all over. I couldn't find people talking about it. It was almost like, I guarantee with all the many thousands of people who saw it, that I'm sure tons of them took photos and sent it to family and friends, but they didn't want to give you the public attention because this is what he wants. He wants this to get noticed.
You're probably right about that. The other thing that was hurting my chances of going as viral as I wanted to is that the runners, most of them weren't carrying phones when you run 10 miles.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
They were stopping and shouting, but had they had phones, and a few of them did, I saw my picture getting taken quite a few times. That was fun, but that just means we're going to have to do it more often, and we're going to do it every weekend, Saturday and Sunday. We're going to go by Georgetown, the Wharf, Alexandria. We're just going to do this every single weekend until November 5th because Washington, D.C. needs to learn.
So if someone sees you out on the water, if somebody in our great listening audience sees, it would be quite obviously you. It's going to be you.
Mm-hmm.
If you're the only one flying that flag out on the Potomac. What should they do? Should they honk or yell to you or something?
They should honk. They should yell. They should bring a case of Miller Lite and then join me on the boat. We're gonna let's do a WMAL party one day. I'm dead serious about this. I'll meet you at the dock. We'll get everybody together and we'll have a great time.
Can I tell people why you chose this race? This is at least what you told me. So
I forget actually.
It's actually everything about it makes total sense. You're driving right along the shore, making sure that the flag is flying in such a way that they can read it perfectly instead of the inverse side where it's reversed. You're doing all that the right way. But you correctly chose a morning event where a bunch of lefties are running instead of some sort of generic, maybe evening time event where they begin taking out their illegal firearms and shooting at you.
That may be something I need to worry about later this summer. For now, I'm safe. Mom, I'm safe. Everything's fine. But yeah, later this summer, we'll see when word gets around that Corey's going to be in Georgetown at 2 o'clock every Saturday and Sunday. We'll see. I'm ready for it, though. Let's bring it on.
Well, thanks for carrying the message out there this weekend. That's pretty